Hello and welcome to PAX and Recreation, and today we continue the Weird Artifact saga with more Relic tokens, but in this case, Relic tokens Relentless collection. So this one has a squirrel and this was during the Double Masters time. Let me just remove the plastic for everyone's leisure and easiness of living around watching this video so that you don't have to see the reflections of the light, making it more difficult for us to talk about the product. There we go. Bunch of plastic, damn. So, squirrels, which was the thing during Double Masters, apparently. And do you think that they are fans of Squirrel Girl? Maybe. So, this is, to date, the last part of the Relic Tokens collection from UltraPro. So, the first one was the Eternal collection. It apparently went okay. The Lineage collection went okay as well. Then the Legendary collection, which was just like life counters. And now, for the last one, the Relic Tokens Relentless collection. And this one is from 2020. So, again, very easy to follow box package. And it says it has 24 packs, each with 3 randomly inserted Relic tokens. I love that they have to register Relic tokens, which is like a thing, apparently. So, let's see. Easy enough to open. Then again, this is a booster box, so it's supposed to, just pop it open. We're just going to open them one by one. Let's check the individual packaging first. So, same as last time, Relic tokens, Relentless collection. With a squirrel there, some details in the back, some showcase pieces, and then Relic tokens, Relentless collection. 3 dials to track token power and toughness or other game mechanics, life total, loyalty, energy, etc. 15 collectible tokens in the set, so this time there are less. Tokens are randomly selected, packaging illustration by blah blah blah. So this time we learned a lesson, and even if there is an insert here, so even if there is an insert here that tells us exactly what is in the set, we're not going to look at it until the last booster is cracked. Why? Because the last time we spoiled ourselves with this and it was less fun. As a matter of fact, we can already see a sliver there. So I'm going to put this here in the punishment corner, and we will only look at it at the end. So first things first, the shape is different. They are shaped like a shield this time and not so much like a weird hexagon. And, well, same format. Wizards of the Pro. Well, they are married after all. Wizards of the Coast, UltraPro, Magic the Gathering, and plastic protectors. This time they didn't cut them as well. They just kind of went like, yeah, just put a plastic on it, and like not that much. But let's see. So a sliver. Okay, so the spoilers didn't last that long. We can remove the plastic so that you can have a better. I even hit the camera. We can even look at them better. So sliver. It's not the classic sliver art, but a sliver nonetheless is gray, so I guess that means multicolored or colorless maybe. And again, you have a dial for numbers on both, so you can use it to track like power and toughness. Like, yeah, this is a 1/1 sliver, and I have 1 copy of the sliver, or 2 copies of the sliver, or 3 copies of the sliver. Or you can just be like, I don't know, like, okay, so I start my commander game with 40 points of life, and I won 0 games. Or if you are, I don't know, and this is commander damage, but again, commander damage is supposed to be up to 21. This doesn't go up to 21. Plus, it's tracked differently across players, so this can be your game winning count, I guess. But ideally, I use this as a counter for actual tokens, which I believe is the original purpose of this. So it's a 1/1 sliver, and I have 1 copy. So that's pretty much the thing. And now we can go more straightforward about them. Okay, Jesus. I guess these ones you're supposed to remove the plastic by default, because otherwise. This is a vampire, but no, it's not your screen. No, it's not my camera skills. This is very difficult to read. because of the color and the reflection. And in person is even worse, by the way. Like in video, I'm getting like the exact angle so you can maybe see it. But you were thinking like, oh no, it's the video. It's like, no, it's not the video. It's the fact that this thing has these borders because it's a shield, right? And the border is right on top of the text and it's purple on top of black. So you can't actually see shit. But yeah, it's a vampire. A very specific art for a vampire. More like an Innistrad vampire, I guess. So vampires, I guess. And last but not least, and this is a fairy rogue. Apparently every time that we have purple on black, so black creatures, is going to be a pain in the ass to read. So right there, less points for design, because trust me, reading these in person, kind of not a thing. So fairy rogue, I guess. Like, again, it gets to a point where you see those tokens and you kind of know already what they do. So you don't need to read the name, but it's certainly shitty that you can't read the name. I mean, one thing is that if I don't want to read the name, but the other is if they don't let me read the name. That bothers me. So a foil sleever, which is always cool. I would try to let the plastic on just because I don't want them to get scratched with each other, but they even stick to each other. So there is that. God damn it. A wolf token, not the best looking wolf token, I have to say, because that wolf looks, I know that the ears down are like more menacing because means that he's pissed, and you can actually read wolf because he's green on black, so there is that. But goddamn, so difficult to read these tokens. I like the shield shape. Like this one, you can even figure out what it is with the plastic. And even without the plastic, it's complicated. This is a storm token. Okay. What a mess. It's a red storm, apparently. And there you go. Like this, you can read them. So far, not bad. There are 15. So we can see if we can pull them all. Following the logic of last time. Damn it. Following the logic of last time, we know, I know that the foil is an extra factor, right? So, oh, there you go, squirrel. Is it a foil squirrel? Why does it have this weird color? No idea. Just looks kind of shitty, but it's a squirrel. This token, maybe this is why they gave up, like Sleever. They were like, yeah, you know what? People don't want this anymore. This is a foil food token, which I already removed the plastic from, but it looks warped nonetheless because since it's foil, it's warped inside the token. Why are these ones so shittier compared to the previous ones? What's up? Oh, this is food. And yeah, this is from Double Masters, like all the art is from Double Masters and the mechanics as well. So, and around the time of Double Masters. So far, I think that Storm is the only thing that I'm not processing which card it is that allows me to create a token Storm, but that maybe it's just me. Oh, a Golem. Not bad. See, it's funnier when we don't know what we're getting, so that's cool. Golem, cool. So far we have 8 out of 15, so halfway there. This is a foil squirrel, so the other one just looks shittier for no reason. Again, it's warped, so everything that's foil is warped, which is actually appropriate for Magic the Gathering. And the color is better in the foil one than in the not foil one. That's very weird. Another fairy rogue, which at this point I even doubt if you can see because of the reflection. And trust me, this is the normal lighting for the channel, so you could see the cards here normally. But plastic, apparently not so much. This is why we are a paper channel. Plus, it's more recyclable. Ooh, Jace, the Mind Sculptor. Ooh, baby. This means money, I guess. So, Jace, blue and black, and it says Jace, the Mind Sculptor. You can't read it because you need to have like a certain angle, no reflections. See, like something like that. I say no reflections, I assume it in person. Like, it's not like myself, I can also only see it like this. If I put it like this, there's no other angle in which I can see Jace. But Jace, the Mind Sculptor, okay. I love how they put a golem. They put random planeswalkers in this thing so that you can have them as life counters, I guess. Sleever. Also, they can use them as rare drops or like mythics or whatever, because everything needs to be a loot box with different levels of rarity. So I guess that makes sense. Another wolf with the weirdest plastic wrapping. What's up, people? Chalice of the Void in foil and therefore all wrapped. Warped, sorry, not wrapped. Interesting. Weird colors. And it doesn't look very good, actually. See, this is black and white, and you can read it in almost every angle, but again, it's because of how the plastic is bent here to make the shield thing that you can't read it properly, even in person, no matter the angle. So there is that, and another fairy rogue. I better pick up the pace because we're right in the middle of the thing, and or I may as well just talk about some weird stories as I do this. Apparently you guys enjoy this. That food token, or plastic food token, I'm getting pissed at the plastic, so there is that. A vampire in foil, otherwise I wouldn't be able to figure out what it was. I'm not joking. Ooh, a knight. This is new. A white knight with vigilance. Not bad. I have a sad story around Jace the Mind Sculptor. Well, not sad, but it's things of childhood, I guess. It's when I was younger. This is the Storm token, believe it or not. When I was younger, and I didn't play Magic that much because, well, I don't know if it was only my case, but Magic the Gathering was always perceived as the grown-ups game because of the art style and the cost as well, and it didn't have an anime to accompany it, contrary to Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon, where, like, well, you had an anime, so it always felt more age-appropriate for us to be, you know, playing with those ones. Not because Magic is like ultra serious or pornographic or anything, but mostly because, you know, well, this is a germ, a foil germ, therefore it's warped. But not bad. Overall, I'm not hating on these ones, but I feel that the shield shape is killing the design because it's making everything more difficult to read. Then again, I don't think you need to read them every time, but at least it will be easier for people to, whatever. So Magic was the grown-ups game, and I remember that once or twice I got pulled into, you know, people playing Magic the Gathering, and sometimes, well, not sometimes, most of the times, if not all the time, it was always older people than me. So it was like older people. We were like in a park or somewhere, or a party or whatever. Or it was like cousins or something. Ooh, who are you? It's a copy. That's a weird copy. That's cool. It's not what I will pick as the art for a copy, but I guess it's thematic, so there is that. And in these birthday parties, or in these places where I was pulled into people playing Magic, I was pulled into it, not like me being pulled by attraction. Sometimes I was out of curiosity just to check how they played, but sometimes people will be like, hey, come here, you're the guy that likes board games and stuff, and you play cards, right? Play cards as in geek people cards, not like poker. And I would be like, sure, let's see. And they would be like, you play Magic the Gathering? I'm like, no, I don't know how to play, etc. Even though I did have some sort of understanding of the rules of Magic, I wasn't scared of Magic, but I was like respectful of Magic, and because things. And these people were playing Magic, and mind you, this was back in the day where sleeves were a mythical creature, right? So people were not sleeving cards, people were not using any sort of protection. They were just playing Wild Wild West, right? And I remember that I watched them play, and I was like, oh, okay, that seems interesting, and it's similar to Pokemon, and it's like, and to Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, obviously, in retrospect, it was actually backwards, right? Like, those games are similar to Magic and not the other way around. But hey, tell that to a kid, all right? So, Germ, cool. So, ooh, a foil sleever. Just remove it so that you can see it better. And just by playing around, food token, even though it's very hard to see, I looked into the game, how it was being played, and I was just, I wasn't like a backseat driver, I was just like looking at the game, like an old man looking at construction work and being like, with the hands behind my back and being like, oh, okay, this is how you play, this is how you do that. And after they played, one of them was apparently very triggered, and he had some cards that I can remember now, some of them I can't. Oh, Married Lage. Or Married Lage, or Lage, whatever. This is a 2020, which actually, or is a 1010? I don't remember the values on Married Lage. But this one actually breaks this thing, because if it's a 2020 or a 1010, you can't represent it. Actually, you can't see properly. Again, this is very shitty, and it's not, again, the camera is in the same position, everything is the same as the other token video. So in the other token video, we were able to see the tokens, and this one we are not. And this is 2 years later, in terms of, I'm getting mad. This is 2 years later in terms of production. So there is no mathematical reason for this to be this difficult to record and to, not even to record, to use even, because in person it's not better, trust me. And likely this is one of those things where they made this one with the squirrels, people didn't bought into them, or people just bought them and was like, oh, this looks shitty, and why are things warped and all that stuff, and why I can't see the name of the vampire even if I freaking put a shadow over it. See, can you see it? No, you can't. And it's not a reflection thing, it's just that because it's shittily printed, it's purple on top of black. And well, but I'm digressing. So after watching them play, one of them was like, I hate this game, blah, blah, blah. You want to play? I was like, sure, but I need a co-pilot. And he was like, I can help you, whatever. I was like, okay. So I started playing the game. I enjoyed playing the game. And after playing the game, which I lost, but hey, the guy was like, cool, you want to keep the cards? And I was like, no. And and I don't recall all the cards that the guy had, but I can tell you that there were some cards in there that I was like, and I may be wrong. The reason why I remember this was treasure token. This one is likely the most useful token in all of this, and you can see it properly. The reason why I remember this story is because I'm pretty sure, but maybe I'm mistaking it for something else, because again, a long time ago, fuzzy memories, life happens. I'm pretty sure he had at least one Jace, the Mind Sculpture, in his deck. And camera problems, apparently. He had one Jace, the Mind Sculpture, in his deck. At least one that I can, because again, I don't remember. And I was like, no, I don't want the deck. Now, the older me, the me that does videos unboxing cards and plays Magic like a maniac, obviously thinks about this situation and thinks, gee whiz, Mr. Pax, you were really an idiot not picking those free cards. And it's like, well, but I guess kids things, like, I didn't thought about it as ironic how we have more slivers than anything else. I wasn't thinking about it in a monetary sense, but even if I didn't know the value of the cards, because you will be like, oh, well, you didn't know the value of the cards, but it was free stuff. I will be like, yes, but my mom always told me that, you know, if you don't need it, because these people weren't necessarily strangers to me. Like, it wasn't like a stranger danger situation, but it was like, well, if I don't need it, right? Like, I don't need it. I don't know how to play. I am not going to play Magic with anyone because I don't know anyone that plays Magic except older people. So thank you, but no, I don't need them. And it's one of those funny things that I'm certain that you also have situations like this where you think about things from the past where your, I guess, purer moral principles or like, you know, a purer reflection of what your parents told you or something was a lot more, I don't know, for lack of a better word, pure about this sort of thing. And, you know, it's like, oh no, I don't need it, thank you very much, and you immediately like stop it instead of just thinking about, oh, free money, things, life is rough, I can take a profit from this and stuff like that. It was just like, nah, I don't need it, thank you. And to this day, I like to think that I still try to be like that, and if I don't need it, I just say, nah, I don't need it, and it's not all because of like, oh, free stuff and stuff like that, or just give it to someone that needs it more or wants it more. Like, some people like the game more than me. Ironically, we have not that much squirrels, but yeah, from time to time I just think about it every time I see Jace, pretty much, and I just kick myself a little bit in the butt and think, man, we could have, likely the card will be worthless because it's not like the card was in perfect condition or anything. Again, sleeves were a mythical creature in this era, but I don't know, I think about that era and think like, man, was I a better person than I am now? Or like, I'm just overthinking it and it's like, oh, kids things, right? Like, I don't know. If you have any, maybe it's just me, like, but I'm certain that everyone has some sort of situation like this, that you take a knee-jerk moral stand at something, and then you repent because you're like, oh man, I should have done that, or I should take advantage of it or something. And but on paper, technically, what you did wasn't wrong. You just like retroactively, you are thinking like, oh man, I really should have, you know, I don't know. I'm overthinking this, but it's one of those, last one by the way, but it's one of those things that I always look back and think, yep, Jace the Mind Sculpture. And maybe that's the reason why I hate Jace so much. I don't hate Jace. I just think that it's overhyped. Oh, twice the same and in foil? Oh, what an ending. Huh? It's a shame that it's Fairy Rose, that you can't really read the title. But yeah. Okay, not bad. So before doing some wraps, let's count. I think we have the 15 here, but let's check. I think the hardest ones are the Squirrel and Jace, ironically, or Married Lage, Married Lag, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Well, we actually managed to get a collection. It wasn't that difficult. Now for the... Obviously, this is lock-based, so don't try this at home. Let's read the insert now. And, I mean, yes, we have all of them because we counted the numbers. It would be more interesting if we missed one of them and be like, rough, and had to catch back. Now, yes, I guess that the real hunt will be to have them all in foil or something, right? But no need for that. Like, this worked. I think that the hardest ones, just looking at quantity, will be Jace and Married Lage, which are ironically the last ones in the insert, right? So for a reason, and the squirrels apparently. But you can tell that slivers, wolves, fairies, golems are the commons in this booster. Everything else is up for grabs. Now, conclusions about this. Well, overall, I think that this is okay. But if I have to compare it, and give me 1 second. If I have to compare it with the Lineage collection, the one that we opened previously, I prefer these ones for multiple reasons. So number one, the shape. I kind of prefer this shape because when you play Magic Arena, this is the shape of tokens, right? Nowadays. So it's like a shield. So it makes more sense than this. Now, both are plastic. This one has a plastic on them. So without the plastic, they actually look like this. Now, I still prefer these ones because the curvature on top doesn't get in the way of the actual name, and you can read pirate. I specifically went for a pirate because they are one of the few like black creatures, so it's purple on black. But look at that. You can see pirate on every angle. And it's not because it's a simple big word, because vampire is a simple big word as well. And can you read vampire, my friend? No, you can't, but you can read pirate. And it's the size of the text, the angle of the, but most importantly, is the angle of the thing. See this border here? This thing just blows. I didn't think that all the way through the end. Now this one is easier to follow, a lot easier to, go there. Now the others are bigger to a degree, more or less the same size, to be honest, just like cutting corners. But overall, I think that the Lineage ones are better, and the ones that are foil don't look like shit, and are not as warped as these ones. So I prefer the Lineage ones, but these ones have some relevant tokens that are not in the others. So, like the treasure, if I recall correctly, and fairies, copy, food, right? So some of the mechanics that are more used nowadays, and I guess they have squirrels and Jace if you're into that shit, but the others have Karn and Liliana, which are phased out or banned, depending on how you want to look at it. But overall, same conclusion as the other. I think like for $3 a pack, they are okay. More than that, it's iffy territory. And I don't like these ones particularly because they don't feel good. Even if you put them on the table as I'm putting them, when you play, it's like a lot of reflection. And yes, it's plastic, is always going to have a reflection, but it's because of the borders that make everything a lot more difficult than this. And this one has a plastic, mind you. See, like this is a lot easier to follow. Even if I put the pirate here, where the light is the same as Married Lage, you can still see it's a pirate. You can still figure everything. And Married Lage, or Married Lage, or Lage, or whatever, doesn't have anything to figure out, and it's still, because it's like a mist of things, and it's still difficult to follow because the plastic is a lot more reflective because of the angle of it. This is more even, and this is more uneven, and therefore the reflection. So you have to hold it like this to see stuff, and this one doesn't have that need. You can see better like this, yes, but still better. Again, kind of a luxury on top of luxury product. You don't really need this for anything. It's kind of okay. If you missed the last time the conclusions, well, pretty much the conclusions apply here the same. For tokens, well, Married Lage is not a good example, but Married Lage is actually a bad example here because it's a big creature, so these numbers don't make any sense, so no use for this. Things like Jace the Mind Sculpture only have a use for them, and that use is to track your life points. So let's say that we play Commander like any good Disciple of the Lord, and there will be like this 40 points and like your win count, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe the toxic counter if you're playing against someone that's playing with toxic or poison counters. So I guess there is that, but for smaller creatures like, I don't know, like fairies, like a fairy rogue, the ideal thing will be, again, to be like, well, this is a 1/1 fairy with flying, and I have 3 copies of it, even though this one is stuck for some cosmic reason. And this can happen as well, by the way. This one is very stuck. I can even, I think my gloves are going to cut. Actually, it doesn't spin in one direction, it just spin on the other. So this can happen. You can end up with a shitty one. But hey, he's the luck of the draw, right? But it's a 1/1 and I have 5 copies of it. That's the way I read it. So it's nice. This is a better, nice looking thing than the card tokens, I guess. But this does beg the question, should it be more expensive than a normal booster? I don't think so. And more importantly, should you spend that much money on tokens? And I guess that the answer here is no, but at the same time, yes, because you may have multiple decks that use the same type of token across time and space, but the cards themselves, not so much. For example, you can have a commander deck from 5 years ago that does fairies, and you can have one of the precons from this year that has fairies, so you can take advantage of it twice, right? And if you have a pirate deck, so with pirates, you have a vampire deck, so with vampires, etc. Ironically, none of the two that we open on camera has spiders on there, which is weird because the spiders to me are like a pretty common token thing that appears in pretty much every game, but I digress. So, once again, as usual, let me know down below what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that. And don't forget to share your experiences. Do you have weird experiences like I had with Jace when I was younger? I don't know. Let me know down below. And as usual, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your time. This has been PAX and Recreation. See you next time. Bye.